The fog in Oakhaven was a thick, wet blanket, rolling in from the moors every night, swallowing cottages whole. My name is Leo. I've lived here all 17 years. The fog was just part of life until this morning. It felt heavier, colder, clinging to my skin as I left for the paper. The streetlights barely cut through the gloom. Everything looked strange. This was the morning everything changed. I rounded the corner onto Blackwood Lane, my usual shortcut. That's when I saw it, a tunnel carved into the rocky hillside. A perfect arch, black as pitch, framed by jagged rocks and dripping moss. But that was impossible. I'd walked this lane thousands of times. There was never a tunnel here. Yesterday it was just a solid wall of ancient rock. My mind raced. Had a crew worked overnight? No, the whole village would have noticed. This tunnel hadn't been built, it had just appeared. It looked ancient, as if it had waited centuries. The stone around the entrance was dark and weathered, unlike the rest of the hillside. It didn't belong. It was a scar on the landscape. I stepped closer, the air growing colder. A musty metallic smell drifted out. The fog thickened around the entrance, swirling as if drawn in. It was like the tunnel was breathing, inhaling the morning mist. My errand forgotten, I stood frozen, staring into the silent void. Logic screamed at me to run, but curiosity pulled me in. Where did it lead? How could it be here? I felt a compulsion, a pull from the darkness stronger than my fear. That's when I heard it, a faint sound like rustling leaves carried on the damp air. I tilted my head. Was it the wind? No. The air was dead still. The sound came again, whispering, slithering out from the tunnel's mouth. Too quiet to make out words, but enough to make my skin crawl. I stepped closer. The whispers grew louder, ancient and dry, not in any language I knew.
Shh, come, here.
The words formed in my mind, bypassing my ears. Cold sweat broke out on my forehead. The voices were calling to me. They knew I was there. "Who's there?" I called, my voice thin and shaky. Silence answered. I should have run, but I was rooted by a terrible curiosity. The whispers returned all around me from the fog, the stones, the air. They whispered my name.
Leo, join us, Leo.
How could they know my name? Terror washed over me. This wasn't just a tunnel. It was something else, something that knew me. Despite every instinct, I knew what I had to do. I had to see what was inside. I stepped forward. My hand shook as I touched the stone beside the entrance. Shockingly cold, slick, and slimy. The whispers grew more insistent. My rational mind was gone, replaced by a need to understand. I took a breath and stepped inside. Instantly, the world outside vanished. The fog, the light, the village, gone. It was as if a door had slammed shut behind me. The air was thick, hard to breathe, like a sealed tomb. The silence was total. Even my own breathing was stolen away. I tried to turn back, but the entrance was gone. Just darkness behind and before me. Panic pierced through my curiosity. I tried to shout, but no sound came out. It felt like I was trapped in a vacuum, time suspended. I fumbled for my phone, dead, useless. I was truly alone, no light, no sound, no way out. I realized I had walked right into a trap. Just as panic threatened to consume me, a sickly greenish-yellow light flickered far down the tunnel. It revealed a long corridor, walls smooth and dark, absorbing the light. Shadows writhed and danced, stretching into grotesque, almost human shapes. I stepped forward. My footstep echoed, once, then 100 times, cascading back at me. Every movement was amplified, filling the silence. The tunnel was alive, watching me. The shadows paused, turning unseen faces toward me. The light flickered out, plunging me into darkness. My heart leapt. The echoes of my last step haunted me. The light flickered back on, closer now, as if the tunnel was shrinking. The whispering started again, from a shadow right beside me. I flinched, stumbling back against the cold wall. The sound echoed endlessly. The shadows swirled faster, faces forming, gaunt, empty-eyed, mouths open in silent screams. They weren't just shadows. They were the prisoners of this place, and they wanted me to join them. The light ahead flickered like a nightmare strobe. With each flash, the whispering shadows leapt closer, their chill seeping into my bones. Their promises were terrifying. I had to get out. I turned and ran blindly, desperately unsure of anything in the disorienting flashes and echoes. My footsteps sounded like a stampede chasing me down the corridor. "Get away from me!" I screamed. The tunnel screamed back, my voice twisted into a monstrous roar. The shadows flowed along the walls, keeping pace, their whispers turning to shrieks. Suddenly, I saw it, a pale rectangle of light. The entrance. Hope surged. I ran harder, lungs burning, eyes fixed on daylight. The shrieking intensified. A cold tendril brushed my neck. I stumbled forward. I threw myself toward the light, tumbling out onto the wet ground of Blackwood Lane. I lay there, gasping. The whispers and echoes were gone. I scrambled up. The hillside was just solid rock. No tunnel. Gone. Was it a dream? My clothes were damp, my hands scraped. The memory seared in my mind. I never told anyone. Who would believe me? But sometimes, on foggy mornings, I still hear faint whispers on the wind, calling my name.